What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video, and the Maple Leafs have made a trade. Sorry, no fancy intro or edits in this video, but the Maple Leafs have made a move trading for Ilya Lyubushkin. Now, this was a 3-team deal, so the Maple Leafs get Lyubushkin, Carolina Hurricanes are retaining some, so they get a 6th-round pick, and obviously the Anaheim Ducks are acquiring a 3rd-round pick for retaining some of the salary as well. And that works out to the Maple Leafs getting a cap hit of $687,500. So the double retention, that's less than the league minimum salary. That leaves plenty of room for further moves before the March 8th deadline. So as you can see, there's a bunch of tweets here that show what was going on tonight and maybe some not so good stuff that we'll get to in a second. If we're going to talk about this on the surface, it's great that the Maple Leafs have picked up another depth defenseman. Here's my take on it, and I know there's already going to be a lot of people that are going to torch me in the comments, but I just need to warn you guys. Ilya Lyubushkin is not very good. I just right off the bat, he's not very good, and he played for the Leafs before, and you know what? He's a physical guy. He's a really physical guy. He's a good depth defenseman, but he doesn't do a lot of things that the Maple Leafs need right now on a heavy minute type of cycle. Okay, so let me just explain this, because I don't dislike Lyubushkin. I actually do like the physicality, and I like him as a depth defenseman, but I'm hoping that this is just a depth move, and I don't dislike the player. I dislike the price. Now, there's a few things that go into this. First of all, double retention means you're going to have to give up a little bit more, but on base value, I don't think Lyubushkin is worth a 3rd-round pick. I don't think he's worth even potentially a 4th-round pick. But if you're going to be going after a guy like that and getting retention, obviously it's going to have to be a little bit more value for the team that you're trading with. Now, the other thing is that teams look at the Maple Leafs and know that they need defensemen. They missed out on Tanev, and they weren't really finding guys that they could go after. So that probably raised the price a little bit. And again, I'm okay with the dollar amount. Like, he's getting paid less than league minimum. The Leafs need defensemen. He throws a lot of hits. I mean, I think he threw like 110 hits last year. I'm trying to check my phone because stuff keeps happening here. So there's also, the Leafs are also receiving the rights to Kirill Sleepitz to complete the double retention deal on Ilya Lyubushkin. So again, just more added to the deal. But yeah, again, I'm not too happy about this, but I'm not sad about it either, because this still leaves room for the Maple Leafs to do other things, as Chris Johnston said. But yeah, he's thrown a bunch of hits. He doesn't do a lot of anything else. He doesn't really play a lot of defense. And what I'm saying is Mike Stevens bringing up this: Ilya Lyubushkin has 0 goals and is the 7th lowest ranked defenseman, minimum 10 games by game score this season. All the guys below him are the Sharks and Blackhawks defensemen. So he doesn't do a lot of anything, and he doesn't impact the game whatsoever. But if the Maple Leafs are going to be having him as depth for not a ton of money, I guess that's good. But you know, I see a lot of people saying, oh, it's great to have him back. The last time he played for the Leafs in the playoffs, he was awful. I know he played really decent with Morgan Riley for a little bit at times. But again, this is gonna come off as me just hating this guy. I really don't hate Lyubushkin at all. Actually, I don't even dislike him. It's just the price that they paid for him is just a little bit more than I would have liked. And if the Leafs are going to go after defensemen, I kind of want them still to go after guys that can eat up a lot of minutes and play a lot. And again, this trade just happened, so of course this is just fresh off of our mind. But he was making $2.75 million, which I don't know why he was making so much money. But yeah, 4 points this year in 55 games played. He's a -13, but I don't really look at that stat too much. He's played for a few different teams over the last few years. But again, physical. He'll be a depth guy. Hopefully the Leafs can acquire a little bit more. Gio is probably going to be out for a little while. Of course, Connor Timmins is still out with mono. Liljegren is still hurt, which, again, we all thought he was getting traded, which I don't want them to trade him, especially now. They need more guys. So let's see what else happens. I just don't like the price that they paid. I like Lagesson. I wish that they would call him up and utilize him instead of giving up picks. I was wondering maybe if they try Topi Niemela in a depth role and see if he can handle some minutes in the NHL as a stopgap until some of these guys come back. There's just a few options and a few other guys I wanted the Leafs to go after, but it's looking more and more like the Leafs just needed to fill a gap here. And if Lyubushkin comes in and plays physical, that's fine. But the problem is Lyubushkin is a guy where he'll hit somebody, but then he takes himself completely out of the play. I want him to be a little bit more sound in the defensive end. And if he can do that while still being a little bit physical, then that's great. But if he's going to take himself out of the play and not play great defense like he has this season, then it's going to be a big problem. And I thought so I looked at this earlier. Like, he doesn't do a lot of good. Like, Red is not good on here. He's valued at a third pair type of guy. And again, this is coming from Jay Fresh. But let's hope this works. Honestly, I just want the Leafs to get better. So let's see if it works. Again, not hating on the guy, just hating on the price that they had to pay. And I get why. It's just I kind of want them to go after a guy that can play 18 to 20 minutes and be physical and give you that solid defense. Because there are guys out there, it's just going to cost you a first and a prospect. And if you're getting those really good guys, you got to pay that price, and I would be okay with it. Just get a horse on that back end. You need more of these guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Again, lots more Leafs content coming because they're truly... They can't be done. There's more that needs to be done here. If Lyubushkin's the only guy they get, which I don't believe it's going to be, then, that would be bad. But they need to do more, and they're going to. So much more coverage. We'll probably talk a little bit more about this in the next couple days. So if you guys are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.